The production team of Celebrity Grave Hunting wished to apologize in advance for the shift in audio quality. The crew's trusty travel boom mic decided to take a siesta mid-production, and thus we were forced to use the microphone of lesser quality halfway into the day. But let's give it applause for at least working. With that said, on with the show.
Welcome to Celebrity Grave Hunting. Today's tip: take the scenic route.
Welcome to Celebrity Grave Hunting. I am your host, Ryan. I am so excited that you decided to come along with me today on another adventure. The weather is beautiful. Let's go on a hunt. We are on our way to Philadelphia today, the West Oak Lane neighborhood of Philadelphia. It's kind of on the northern side of town. We are headed towards Northwood Cemetery. But we're taking the scenic route. It's so nice. And, you know, the leaves are still in the trees, though it's fall, and a lot of them have fallen. I figure let's take a scenic tour. Who are we going to see today? Well, today we are going to see the great Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Okay, now, who is Sister Rosetta Tharpe? Well, she was an American gospel singer, a songwriter, and a pioneering electric guitar player, known by audiences as the original Soul Sister, and the godmother of rock and roll, plus cited as one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Born March 20th, 1915, as Rosetta Newbin in Arkansas, she began singing and playing guitar with her mother's encouragement. She was deemed a child prodigy at age 6. Touring the American South as a child with her mother billed as a singing and guitar playing miracle, their show was part performance, part sermon. In 1934, at age 19, Rosetta married a Thomas Tharpe. Leaving him 4 years later in 1938, she kept her ex's surname and adopted the stage name Sister Rosetta Tharpe. October 31st, 1938, age 23, Sister Rosetta Tharpe recorded her first records. Instant hits and notable for being the first gospel records recorded for Decca Records, establishing herself as an overnight sensation. Signing a 10-year contract with Lucky Millinder's swing band in 1941, Sister Rosetta toured throughout the 1940s. The records she recorded caused immediate uproar with the church-going crowd as Rosetta shockingly mixed gospel with secular music. But most audiences loved it, with Rosetta often crossing the race lines and performing with white singers. In 1944, she recorded Strange Things Happening Every Day, the first gospel record to appear on the Billboard Hit Parade charts, and now argued as the first true rock and roll record. The 1950s saw a downturn in popularity, but she was noted as a huge influence by the likes of Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Little Richard, and Jerry Lee Lewis when their own popularity was on the rise. In April and May 1964, Sister Rosetta Tharpe toured Europe as part of the Blues and Gospel Caravan alongside Muddy Waters and Otis Spann, Ransom Knowling, Reverend Gary Davis, and more. Influencing a whole new generation with her performance, notable attendees of this tour include young Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Keith Richards, and Brian Jones, all citing this tour as a huge milestone in their lives as both fans and musicians. When asked later about her music and rock and roll, Sister Rosetta was quoted as saying, quote, "These kids and rock and roll, this is sped up rhythm and blues, I've been doing that forever," end quote. She suffered a stroke in 1970, which resulted in one of her legs being amputated from diabetes complications, which reduced her ability to perform. And sadly, on the eve of a scheduled recording session on October 9th, 1973, Sister Rosetta Tharpe passed away after suffering another stroke. She was 58 years old. Legend in life, not forgotten in death. Since her passing, she has been heralded by many recording artists from nearly every genre of music as being a huge influence. She's been inducted posthumously in virtually every Hall of Fame, with songs of hers now in the Library of Congress and her own commemorative postage stamp. Yet her grave remained unmarked until 2008, when a concert was held to raise funds for a proper headstone. We are here at the Northwood Cemetery, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is honestly my first time here, and finding Sister Rosetta Tharpe isn't terribly difficult at all. So, to do so, you come in the main gate here off 15th Street, and we have the main cemetery buildings here. Park your car and walk down this lane here. As far as I can tell, the sections aren't labeled, but she will be buried past these 3 trees off to the left, right off the main gate here, almost all the way to the fence lining the road there on 15th Street. So we just passed the first tree. Couldn't ask for a better day. The grounds seem very well kept. Lovely place to spend eternity. Okay, second tree. Third tree. And then there's a little bit of a crossroads. Turn left. And then cross over one lane. And walk almost near the end of this row. There's housing across the street here. And there's a sign that says Windsor Estates. That's a great place, a great way to know your bearings. And she is in the shade of a large tree here. And her headstone is kind of a red granite. Rosetta Atkins Tharpe Morrison. March 20th, 1915, October 9th, 1973. Sister Rosetta. Gospel music legend. She would sing until you cried, and then she would sing until you danced for joy. She helped to keep the church alive and the saints rejoicing. That is appropriate for her song, This Train, or Talking God's Train. Legend in life, not forgotten in death. Please like and subscribe. That way you won't miss out on our next adventure.